For millions of Americans, hitting age 62 feels like crossing a finish line. It's that first moment you can finally claim your Social Security benefits. But what if I told you that for most people, that's a financial trap? A single decision that could quietly cost you and your family over $100,000. Today, we're going to dive deep into the Social Security dilemma, and we're going to explore why the most popular choice is so often the worst one you can make. So let's just get right to it and put the big question on the table. For decades, 62 has been this magic number for so many people to start their benefits. But is it really a smart move, or is it a huge misstep that could quietly drain your retirement savings for the rest of your life? We are talking about tens, maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars in lifetime income just gone. And as you're about to see, the answer is way more complicated than just punching some numbers into a calculator. To really get our heads around this, we can't just look at spreadsheets and financial projections. We have to start with the human side of the equation. I mean, why do so many people rush to claim benefits at the first possible second, even when financial advisors are practically screaming from the rooftops not to? Well, the answer isn't always logical. It's deeply rooted in our psychology, our fears, and a really powerful sense of ownership. This right here, this is a feeling that runs deep for so many people. I mean, think about it. You've worked for 30, 40, maybe even 50 years. And on every single paycheck, you've seen that FICA tax get pulled out, funding this promise of security way down the road. It's your money, right? So that impulse to just say, hey, it's time, give me what's mine, it's not just understandable, it's practically baked into our financial DNA. You feel like you've paid your dues, and now it's finally time for the system to pay you back. Okay, and now let's talk about the big one, the fear. You've seen the headlines, right? Social Security is going broke, or the trust fund will be empty by 2035. This kind of talk creates a genuine panic. It makes the decision feel less like a financial strategy and more like you're in a race against a ticking clock, where the only smart move is to grab whatever you can while you still can. But what if I told you that the entire premise of that fear, the idea that the well is just going to run completely dry, is really a fundamental misunderstanding of how the money actually flows? All right, let's clear this up, because this is probably one of the most important things to understand. Think of the Social Security Reserve Fund like a giant savings account that the system built up during the good years. And yes, that account is projected to run out around 2035 if Congress does nothing. But, and this is the key, the system's main source of money isn't that savings account. It's the weekly paycheck it gets from all of us who are currently working and paying taxes. So even if that savings account hits zero, the paychecks still keep coming in, funding the whole system. As you can see here, those ongoing taxes are still enough to pay about 83% of all promised benefits. Now, is a 17% benefit cut a serious problem for Congress to solve? Absolutely, it's huge, but it is a world away from benefits going to zero. It's a solvable political problem, not a reason for you to make a personal financial decision based on panic. And then, of course, there's the longevity gamble. This is another really powerful worry. If I wait until I'm 70 to claim, am I even going to live long enough to make up for all those years of payments I missed? Life is unpredictable. We all know the stories. The person who lives a super healthy life and passes away young, and the person who breaks all the rules and lives to be 95. From a purely personal, what's in it for me perspective, waiting feels like you're betting on your own lifespan. And if you don't make it into your mid-80s, the simple math says you lose that bet. This makes taking the money early feel like the safer, more guaranteed option. Okay, so we get it. We understand the powerful emotional pull to claim early. It makes a lot of sense on a gut level. But now, we have to flip the coin over and look at the other side, the very real, often hidden, and totally permanent financial consequences. This is where a choice that's made out of fear or impatience can turn into a lifelong financial regret. Let's just start with the big, stark number. If your full retirement age is 67, claiming your benefit at age 62 results in a permanent 30% reduction. And I have to stress that word, permanent. Let's make that real. If your full benefit was supposed to be, say, $2,000 a month, claiming at 62 means you get $1,400 instead. That is a $600 difference every single month forever. That's not just a little haircut. It's a permanent financial limp that you are choosing to live with for the rest of your life. And believe it or not, that initial cut is just the beginning. It actually gets worse over time because of inflation. See, the annual cost of living adjustments, or COLAs, are calculated as a percentage of your current benefit. So a smaller base means a smaller raise every single year. Let's play this out.
Year one, you get $1,400 instead of $2,000. Let's say there's a 3% COLA. The person who waited gets a $60 raise. You get a $42 raise. It doesn't seem like much, right? But next year, the gap is wider. And the year after that, wider still. After 20 years of these compounding, seemingly small differences, the gap between your two benefit checks isn't $600 anymore. It could easily be $900 or even $1,000 a month. You're not just locking in a smaller benefit, you're locking in slower growth and losing your purchasing power faster and faster every single year.
Okay, let's pause on this one because this is arguably the most critical and overlooked trap of all. Your Social Security decision is not just about you. If you're married, it's a team decision, period. Here's why. When one spouse passes away, the survivor gets to keep the larger of the two Social Security benefits. Now, statistically, in many couples, the wife outlives the husband. So if you, as the higher earner, decide to claim your benefit early, you are not only slashing your own check, you are permanently slashing the survivor benefit your spouse will have to live on after you're gone. Just imagine your partner in their 80s or 90s, living alone. The choice you make today could be the difference between them being financially secure and them struggling to pay for basic health care. Delaying your claim is honestly one of the greatest acts of financial protection you can provide for the person you love. And just when you think it can't get any worse, there are the taxes. Claiming early can create a nasty tax problem where one didn't even exist before. Think it through. You retire at 62. You start taking your reduced Social Security check. But that's not enough to live on, so you also start pulling, say, $30,000 a year from your traditional 401k. Well, the government sees your Social Security income, sees your 401k withdrawal, adds them together and says, aha, you have enough income that we are now going to tax up to 85% of your Social Security benefits. It's a total double whammy. You've taken a smaller check that you now have to pay more taxes on. It's just a terribly inefficient way to structure your retirement income. Okay, so we've laid out all the traps. And I know, it can sound a little scary, but this isn't about fear. It's about empowerment. Because by understanding the downsides of the path most people take, we can unlock the incredible strategic advantages of the path less traveled, the power of waiting. All right, now we get to the really powerful stuff. This is a strategy that the best financial advisors use, but most people have never even heard of it. It's called the golden window. I want you to think of it like a limited time sale on your future taxes. For just a few short years, after you retire, but before you claim Social Security and before your required minimum distributions begin, the government basically gives you this incredible opportunity to rearrange your entire financial life with minimal tax pain. But you have to know that the window exists to be able to take advantage of it. Let's break this down, because this is where you can literally save tens of thousands of dollars in future taxes. During this golden window, your earned income is zero. You're living off other savings. Your taxable income is the lowest it will be for the rest of your life. This is your chance. You strategically convert money from your pre-tax traditional 401k or IRA into a post-tax Roth IRA. Now, you're choosing to pay tax on that money now, but you're paying it at today's super low 12% or 22% rates. Why do this? Because every single dollar you move to a Roth is now in a financial fortress. It will grow tax-free forever, it has no RMDs, and when you withdraw it in your 80s, it's 100% tax-free. It won't cause your Social Security to become more taxable. You are essentially diffusing a future tax bomb during these golden years before that window slams shut for good. Now, what if you're listening to all this and this sense of dread is starting to creep in because, well, you already claimed at 62? Don't panic. There is a little-known provision that acts as a kind of safety net. It's a one-time do-over that lets you actually withdraw your application. It's like hitting a reset button on your entire claiming decision. So here's how it works. First, and this is absolutely crucial, you must act within 12 months of when you first started getting benefits. It is a hard deadline, no exceptions. Second, you have to repay every single dollar you and your family received. This is a big step, so let's be super clear. This is really a strategy for someone who claimed early out of fear, but then maybe got an inheritance or their spouse decided to keep working, and their financial picture suddenly changed for the better. If you can do it, it's as if you never filed in the first place. You can then wait, let your benefit grow by that guaranteed 8% a year, and refile later to lock in that much, much higher payment for life. It's a powerful escape hatch, but you have to be financially ready to use it. So when you strip away all the complexity, the decision really boils down to this. What kind of bet are you making? I mean, think about it. Where else in the world can you get a return like this? For every year you delay claiming past your full retirement age up to age 70, you get a guaranteed 8% annual increase from the government. That's an 8% return, backed by the US Treasury, that is then also adjusted for inflation for the rest of your life. I'm telling you, there is no investment product on Wall Street that can offer you that kind of guarantee. Delaying isn't just a bet on living longer, it's a bet on securing one of the most powerful and stable income streams available anywhere in the world. So, knowing all of this, how do you make the right choice for you? There's no single answer that fits everyone. The perfect decision is deeply personal. It's based on your unique finances, your health, your family situation. So, to help you navigate this, let's walk through a quick checklist of the critical questions you absolutely need to ask yourself.
Take a good look at these. Let's really put them into practice. First, need versus fear. Be brutally honest with yourself. Are the bills piling up and you truly have no other choice, or are the scary headlines on the news just spooking you? Second, the spousal impact. You have to sit down with your partner and look at the actual numbers on your Social Security statements. What does their life look like financially if you're gone? This is a team decision. Third, the golden window. Look at your retirement date. Do you have a 2, 3, or even a 5-year window for some of this proactive tax planning? Don't let that massive opportunity just vanish. Fourth, longevity. Okay, this is the hard one. Look at your family history, look at your own health. My advice? Plan for living to 95. If you're wrong and pass away earlier, your heirs will be fine. But if you plan for 75 and you live to 95, you could be in some serious financial trouble. And finally, the full picture. Remember, this is not just a Social Security decision, it's a retirement decision. How does it change when and how you tap into your other savings? Answering these questions honestly is the only way to build a plan you can feel truly confident in.
And that really brings us to the final thought. The choice of when to claim Social Security, it isn't just a financial calculation on some spreadsheet. It's a statement about how you view your future and the future of your family. Are you planning for the average, or are you preparing for the very real possibility of a long and vibrant life? There is no single right answer, but the crucial thing is to make the decision with your eyes wide open, knowing all the facts. So what bet are you making on your future? Your answer is going to shape the rest of your life. Thanks for joining us for this explainer.